Java application and database. So here we need to make a connection from Java application to database. Now here you see, so to make a connection from Java application to database, so we used some predefined classes like a driver, right? So and moreover, once driver is loaded, we must give some data as input for the driver, right? Yes, what is the data we need to give as input for the driver? Can you tell me? What is the data we need to give as input for the driver? That is with the help of driver manager class.
The URL of where the database is located, like JDBC,
Yes,
and then after the Oracle database name, in which
yes,
machine are we having the database located on, and the port number that needs to be connected, and the instance name.
yeah, that's right. Okay, so like after the data given to the driver, then it searches about the database what we specify. Okay, and then if it is finded, then creates the connection with the specified database. Okay, once connection is established or once connection is created in between Java application and database, then we have to start the operations. That means operations means, for example, if we created some either student type of application or bank type of application in the Java application. Okay, that is by using the Java language. And we must create related data also in the Java application, right? So after data creation done in the Java application, then we must send the data what we created in the Java application into database. Understood right now, all of you? Okay, so is it clear? So to send the data what we created in the Java application into database, yes, we must write SQL query. That is in the Java application only. The Java application level only, we must create the SQL query with what? With values, right? With what values we want to, what are the values we created in the Java application? Okay. So by using those values, we must generate SQL query here. Okay. So here we need to execute this query in the database level. Okay, because that structure is not related to Java language, so that Java machine unable to understand that. So we must send that SQL query what we created in the Java application level to database. That's why we must use statement object, right? That's what we discussed in the last session, right? Let me show that example also. Now here you see. So this is the example what we discussed here. Okay, fine. So let me open database also. Now, which database we are using here? Oracle database. Now, here you see. So, here we are connected to a username called Scott. And what the database table we created already? Bank. Now here you see already some values presented. But a duplicate value is there. Let me remove the duplicate value. Now here you see at present we are having 4 records in the table. Now when we want to insert some other values like 10 values or 20 values like that. So we must write the SQL query that much of times. That means how many records we want to, or we need to insert the same SQL query we need to write that much of times, but with the different values, right? So instead of writing the SQL query like 10 times or 20 times, we can write, or by writing single time, we can insert number of values or number of records. Let me show how it is. Now here you see, enter the value for name. So I given the name is like that, and let me enter the age also. So 42 I given, and here you see that. So the values are inserted, right? Now, for example, if we need to insert one more record, then we need not write SQL query, just put a slash, so that we got a prompt to enter the values. So I given another name here, and age. Now you see, actually we are not written any SQL query, even values are inserted. Like that we created a query. So this type of queries are known as pre-compiled queries, right? Understood all of you right now? Is it clear for you right now? All of you? Sai, Kishan, Soumya, and Venkat. Okay, fine. Venkat, is it clear for you right now? Yeah, fine. Now, for example, if we want to represent the same type of SQL query that is from Java application. Yes, how it is? Yes, let me show the example. Now here is. So you see how SQL query we written here. Okay, that is to represent the SQL query, but values are not given here. Just we have to enter the values dynamically from the keyboard. Like that we need to enter. That's why here you see we created and represented the SQL query with a object called prepared statement object. Now here you see P represents prepared statement object what we declared at the top of the program you see. Okay, fine. So after prepared statement object creation completed, then what are the values we want to insert into the table? Those values needs to be submitted here, substitute here, right? Yes. So what values we need to substitute in the SQL query? Now here you see we are reading from the keyboard. That is with the scanner. Okay. Already we discussed about scanner class. So after the data collected from the keyboard into related variables like name, number, and gender. Okay. Then we substituted the given values in the prepared statement object. Okay, is it clear right now? That is with the help of predefined methods like set string, set int, set string. That means here you see these are known as placeholders. The first placeholder, that means here we substituted the name what we take it from the keyboard, and in the second placeholder we substituted number and then gender. So is it clear right now all of you? Sai, Kishan, Soumya and Venkat? Hello? Yeah. So once substitution is done, then we have to execute. Now to execute the query after values are substituted here, okay, then we use a method called execute update so that SQL query executes. Then let me show. Now here you see we need to enter some values as input. Okay, now let me enter some name. Now you see, let me show in the database whether the given data inserted in the database or not. Now, you see, let me show in the database whether the given data inserted in the database or not. Now, you see, let me show in the database whether the given data inserted in the database or not. Now, you see, let me show in the database whether the given data inserted in the database or not. Now, you see, let me show in the database whether the given data inserted in the database or not. Now you see whether it is inserted or not. Yes, it is inserted, you see clearly. So this is the data what we given as input from the keyboard from Eclipse. Understood right now? That is about prepared statement object. That means here we are using the same SQL statement to insert multiple values into the database. So is it clear all of you right now? Okay, Kishan, Sai, Soumya, Venkat. Yes, now how many types of statement objects we discussed here? What are the statement objects we discussed? Yes, two types of statement objects. What are those? So what are the statement objects? Yes, statement object and prepare statement object, right? Then, right now, we discussed how to insert the values what we created in the Java application into database, right? That's what we discussed here. Now, for example, if we want to get the values from database into Java application, then let me show that also. Okay, now here you see how to get the values from the database into Java application. Okay, now initially the statements are same. That is till statement object creation, the program is same. Okay, so now here is somewhat the object is changed here. What is the SQL query we written here? Select star from bank, right? That means with that query, what we are doing here? Yes, we are getting the data from the table bank, right? So what are the values presented in the bank table? So all those values retrieved into the object called result set object. Okay, so here R represents result set object here. Now here you see, that's what we created. Result set object. Okay, so after let me show that result set object structure also. You see, now this is a result set object. Imagine, and imagine some data is also here. Imagine two records are there in the result set object. That means two records retrieved from the database table to Java application. That is, Java application means into result set object. Okay, fine. Now, internally in the result set object, one pointer creates, one pointer or cursor creates like this and locates at the top of the first record. So, depends upon the cursor or pointer location, we will get the values. That means exactly where the cursor or pointer located, that record only we are able to get. Understood? Sai, Kishan, Soumya and Venkat. If any queries, please ask me right now. Because the result set object is very important here. Any one of you. So that is when we need to get the values, then we must use result set object, right? Yes, let me show that. Now, here you see, we must bring this pointer towards first record. That is exactly here. Okay. So, how we can bring that pointer at record number 1? Yes. Even we need not write special code for that. We need not write logic for that. Because a predefined method is given, which is called next method. Okay. Next method is given. So, with the next method, just wait. Yes, with next method, you see, we relocated the cursor at record number 1. Understood? Fine. Just a minute. Just a minute. So now here you see. So we relocated the cursor at record number 1, right? So exactly where the cursor or pointer located, then that specific record only we will get, right? Yes. Now to get the values, you see, we're having some predefined methods. You see, get string of 1, get int of 2. Some related methods are given. You see, okay. Get string of 1. So what is meant by 1 here? That is the value. Yes. Now here you see. Yes, position it is. Exactly right. So this is first position and this is second position. That is presented in the record, right? So from this record, we are trying to get the values from different positions using like this 1, 2, 3. Like that we written the code. Okay, so that means when we need to get the data in the form of a string, we must use getString method. This is also a predefined method. And when we need to get the values of numerical types, then getInt method are there. GetInt method is there. So for example, if decimal pointed values are there, we need to get, then get double or get float, something like that. So like, sorry, yeah, Shai, can you hear me right now? Kishan? Yeah, Soumya, you are having issue. Please check your audio. Hello? Can you hear me right now? Soumya, please check your audio. So like that, you see. Okay, let me execute. So what are the values we will get from this table? Okay. Yes, now here you see. So what are the values presented in the database? Those values are displayed, you see. Right? Just 1 minute, please. So see that. But here very important thing, you know very well I think. So when any modification is done, like modification means like it may be either inserting the values or updating the values like that. We must commit the transactions, what we done. Now you see. Okay, now let me execute. Okay, let me execute. Yes, here you see what are the values presented in the database table. Those are displayed. You see, first record, second, third. You see, same thing. You see. Understood all of you right now? Any queries? Sai, Kishan, Soumya, and Venkat. Okay, fine. That is about getting the values from the specified database table into Java application. Now, a simple, not query actually. See, for example, if we need to get second record from the table, okay, that is from the result set object. So what my meaning is result set object. So after value retrieved from the result set object, second record. So for example, when we need to get the first record once again, then initially we must relocate the cursor at record number 2. Then after at record number 1. Like that, we must bring or we must relocate the cursor from bottom to top. Okay, top to bottom and bottom to